I'll usually do this running at like Stone Mountain or
okay.
wherever.
So it's video and voice.
Oh okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I don't know with the wind though today. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little howling in the background there. It's like your steps are coming.
Yeah. They're losing. They're losing the battle.
Hickory right here.
Is that what these are from?
Yeah.
So you can eat them, huh?
Well, they're probably mocker nut hickory, and probably not real tasty, but if worse comes to worse.
That's locked. But we can go around, or I could go get the key from her too.
Well, I guess so. I don't know. Do you know the property boundaries pretty well?
Yeah. Kind of like you see where that blue thing is rolled up. That.
Yeah.
It's not too far over there. Somewhere's I think these large trees are on the line or close to it.
I mean, we can talk about them anyway. And
Yeah, it's
on the neighbor's property. It
somewhere's
might
around here.
Property that we can still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about it.
Huh. Another drainage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drainage stuff around here.
Yeah.
There's a sewer easement that goes through here. Actually, we're probably right on top of the sewer line, I think. These things are all bent over, huh?
Yeah. Usually they do that kind of reach for the light a little bit, but I'm not sure that's the reason here.
Huh.
That's a nice little canopy under here.
Yeah.
You could thin these out if you wanted to, but they make a nice screen between you and the neighbor.
Yes.
Just Rose of Sharon here. So it flowers, they just kind of come up like weeds.
Has roses?
Well, they have little flowers.
Okay.
It's called Rose of Sharon, but it's...
I'm sure Susan's laughing listening to this now once I play it back for her, yeah. Because I have no idea, Dave. All right.
Obviously you can see that they're just kind of spreading along here and down here. There's all these little shoots coming up everywhere.
Like that might have been for a little buffer here for the pool or
they
something.
Probably just came up on their own. They just let it go.
Yeah.
I don't doubt if anybody plants them. They come up on their own quite a bit. Then you got the Mahonia here, which is an invasive plant. But some people like the berries. It's colorful and that sort of thing. A little poplar here. There. It's fine. I want to get the ivy off it. That's a mimosa.
Really?
And it's almost dead. Well, parts of it are dead anyway. You might want to consider it. That makes a big mess and it drops. It's always.
I remember those things. They're like little white and pink kind of fluffy things with little dots on the ends.
Yeah, it's got that little frond flower.
All right.
That comes out, which is attractive, but it does drop.
When it lands, it turns into like a little.
They drop seed pods and everything like that, so I would probably want to get rid of that.
Looks like it's been here a while too.
Got a couple of cherries here. Seem to be doing fine.
This is a cherry tree?
Yeah, that one there with the darker bark, black cherry. And those don't get real big. It's probably about as big as it's going to get. They don't live that long, but you know, it provides food for wildlife, and it's probably actually on her property anyway, so there's not much to do with that.
Yeah, I think it's right in between here, yeah. I mean, it's...
You got the big pine here. I want to look at that just to make sure it looks healthy and that it's not going to fall in your pool or anything like that.
Yes.
From what I can see so far, it's pretty good. Nice and straight.
This looks like a different kind of ivy going up here, huh?
No, it's all the same.
Same? Just dark leaves? Okay.
Yeah, they get a little purplish color in the winter time, especially with that cold we had down to 8 degrees. Yeah, I don't see any issues with the bark or anything on the line. It's a little weighted on one side, but that's because it had more space on that side to protect another pine, more of the wind. So if a storm was going to bring it down, it would bring it into your field.
All right, especially considering I think that's north out that way somewheres.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it feels like the wind's coming from, northwest.
So, you know, it totally depends on the storm and how that wind might whip around and just catch it, but I mean, there's no reason to think it's going to go anywhere for the time being. It looks perfectly healthy, but for the long term, you just kind of keep an eye on that. Even if it dropped limbs, they'd probably come straight down here, so it's not a huge issue there.
Okay.
Let's see, get this little tree right here. I think is sometimes it's hard to tell. Looks like a hickory leaf still hanging on there, I think. Still fine, no issues with that.
Oh, so that's a good sign, having those leaves still hanging on?
Oh no,
Oh.
it's just, it tells you
The
what
type
kind
of
tree
tree,
it
got
is.
it.
Yeah,
All
by
right.
seeing that. How far back do you?
Not far. We're probably, according to the survey, we're right on it here. Pretty close. We're right near the end.
So that's storm drain.
I believe this is probably the edge of it, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And the trees that are back there, not that they would cause you any problem whatsoever, it looks like they fell, but they all look pretty good from what I can see there.
Good. Imagine they get plenty of water here.
You got a bunch of these tall, shrubby trees right here, the evergreen. And, you know, they all look fine. No issues with those. I wanted to go around this side a little bit to see if there's anything that looks like it might cause you a problem.
Yes, sure. Yeah, we'll go right around.
These are poplar limbs. That's very common for poplars to drop limbs like that. They're very brittle. That's what this is right here.
Aha.
Yellow poplar.
Looks kind of gnarly.
And, well, it is a little funny how it grew, and I don't know exactly why, because it doesn't really have the competition that I can see. But most of the limbs that you can see are on the pool side.
Yes. Yes.
So this might be one of those that you consider for the long term. Poplars, especially on a slope like this, probably a long ways off, very remote possibility. But it could still, besides just dropping limbs, it could blow over.
Okay.
Into your property or into your
Sure.
pool and everything
Sure.
else. So, if it's providing you some good shade, then fine. if it's just dropping leaves in your pool, you may want to consider taking it out.
Yeah, this thing is just sheds all over the place, huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. We do that. But, you know, again, it's not an immediate threat or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just consideration for the long term if you're going to keep the property for a long time.
so far our plan is about 10 years.
It probably would not cause you anything other than, again, sort of dropping some limbs
Yeah.
and, of course, the leaves.
Yes.
But you got so many trees here anyway, it's not going to add that much more. Okay, so we still got some more of these. They all look fine. I'm looking at those behind on the slope.
The large ones? Yeah.
Really kept its leaves a long time. It's a little oak. It's just going to continue to kind of grow out in that direction. I'll probably just take that out of here.
All right.
You know, again, it looks fine. It looks healthy in the condition it's growing in. But, you know, they drop a lot of dead limbs. See these little dead limbs at the end?
Yeah.
They're pretty messy. And they'll keep dropping leaves and crap all over your pool area.
This is the kind of tree that generally does not fall down. I mean, is well rooted, or?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it's so small too. I mean, it's going to be 30 years before you even have to worry about
All right.
it getting big enough to even fall.
Make nice firewood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some water over, so I was just going to take that out of there while it's small and easy to do. You could do that yourself easy enough.
Yeah.
So we got the pine tree here.
Looks like a lot of deer run through here.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've seen them crossing the road up there, but just looking at these paths here, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do have the whole Chattahoochee Basin close by, so yeah, I think there's a lot of open area. So we got these two pines right here, and again the ivy just, it's not real heavy, but okay. These slopes like this dry out pretty quick. So if the English ivy's taking a lot of the moisture, it's taking it away
sure.
from the tree.
Yeah, that is dry considering it's just been raining the past
Exactly.
couple days.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was surprised that you're pulling through it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how that happens.
Huh.
You know, the water just sheds right off the ivy and then goes down.
Yeah.
So, plus it's sucking up whatever moisture might be there.
Yeah,
So
big time.
It's definitely a good idea to get rid of the ivy, like I always say. But, you know, I mean, I don't see any peeling bark or any serious issues. Obviously, they'd cut the ivy that was growing up before.
Yeah, I see that.
You see all those dead pines up there. That one behind there looks the same. You know, you always want to look at the base to see if it looks like it's rot along the edges. Sometimes you'll pull the ivy back and you can see how it's just peeling and rotting away. I've seen that quite a bit, especially with the pines, but that looks fine.
Because they're softwood? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
So the insects and everything else like that nice moist condition, and they start between the fungus
Easy meal?
and
Fast
the
food.
insects and everything else, they really go for
All right.
it. Exactly, they love those conditions. But then you got a poplar back there, the taller one. That's another one that's probably got some of the limbs back here, but you know, the tree looks fine. Otherwise, it looks like it's got a pretty.
Yeah, both ways.
You can see a couple dead limbs at the bottom, but that's what they do. I mean, they shed limbs naturally. The lowest limbs will die off. But it looks fine. And this thing here, not sure exactly what that is, but you know, it's just a little tree that's going to drop some things in.
Looks like something's nasty going on there. It's got a hole in the side of it, huh?
Bark is peeling off here. Yeah, it's one of those. probably not very long lived.
Yeah.
So you can see how the sapsuckers drilled holes in it. So woodpecker, they drill holes in it and they drink the sap.
Wow.
So you'll see that. A lot of times people think it's bugs, but in this case, when it's got a line of holes like that around,
No kidding.
the birds just sit
And I
there
thought it was just
pecking,
tattoos.
drinking,
Right.
drinking the sap, moves over, drills another hole, drinks the sap, and so year after year they just keep doing that. That's kind of a trashy little tree. It's not going to hurt anything, but you might want to just go ahead and get it while you get my folks over here.
All right.
Nice evergreen shrubby tree that just gives you some privacy there. So
Yeah. Yeah. Nice screening. Yes. Yeah. I've walked on that yesterday. It's safe.
Rebar there.
Yeah.
Dogwood here. And as usual, dogwoods that get the dead limbs. It doesn't look like the healthiest tree because it's probably competing.
Getting
with all
dwarfed
these
out with
others.
these larger ones, huh?
It's got
Yeah.
the bark, see how the bark's peeling off here? But dogwoods, I've seen them hang in there for years. They do that, and part of it's alive and part of it's dead. And, it's just it's really a personal thing there. Do you want to enjoy the little bit of flowering and fruit and leaf that it has? Or
Firewood.
Yeah, great firewood.
This is number 3 now. Yes.
Some of the
All
best
right.
firewood, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dense, it burns really
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like a fair amount of that is dying back. So. Chainsaw.
Yep. I guess I'm gonna have to buy a chainsaw.
You got some nice little everything that's going through. And there's some more of that Rose and Sharon along the fence line. It's got all those flowering and seeding pods, and that's why it spreads everywhere. So
Ah.
it's just
Okay.
again a matter of personal preference. You want to just clean some of that up.
I think Susan and I like things looking natural.
Yeah, sure.
Like low maintenance,
Sure.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the ivy doing its thing everywhere.
I guess that's holding a fair amount of the soil.
Well,
I mean, you
that's-
think anything as far as erosion goes? I mean,
Well-
this gets pretty steep here, Yeah.
That always is a consideration. The thing is that you want to balance that with what it's taking out of the soil and
Oh.
taking away from your trees.
All right.
And really, the leaf litter is going to hold a lot of your soil anyway. And if you're going to get mosquitoes in here because of the ivy and all that,
Ah.
and again,
okay.
the rot for the trees and all that. So,
Roundup.
I would at least do a little bit of it at a time. Maybe not spray the whole thing all
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't saturate
But
it.
do a little bit at a time.
Probably get it off the pool wall to
Yeah,
start,
get it
and
off this
work
area.
it back a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Back up this slope. Yeah.
That's a good strategy right there. Yeah,
All right.
that'll help this too. Now these evergreens really like sun. That's why it's a little sparse. These junipers and all these kind of short needle type shrubs. They like sun, so it's never going to do real well with all the shade it's got in here. But it's
Sure.
not doing too bad.
Yeah.
So, same thing with that one. See how kind of sparse it is?
So are these 3 dogwoods in a row here? Am I matching the
Yeah.
bark right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So probably get rid of 2 of these 3 then.
Yeah, and this one here in the middle,
Looks.
it's got some. Let's see. This is dead right here. This lower limb is definitely dead here. So you could just cut off the lower dead limbs
Yeah.
and leave the. 'Cause that looks like it's.
Got a little canopy up there. It looks like there's still leaves on there, huh?
See a live bud. It looks like it's probably. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna flower. It's gonna have plenty of flowers on it in spring. So yeah, the top of it's all looking fine. Yep. And this one.
Is there a red
here-
light on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm surprised the battery lasted this long.
Oh, okay. This one here. Yeah, it's definitely got some leaf coming out. This one here. And the bark looks good. So, yeah, there's no reason really to take that out. Yep. So these two actually look pretty good.
Okay. How about this little oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
You're working your way around. I was just, yeah.
That's another dogwood.
That's a dogwood? All right.
Yeah.
I think that's a little too close to the pole for me. I mean, it's probably nice shade up there on the deck.
Yeah. And
Some
that's
afternoon
what you might
sun,
do
yeah.
Is consider it if you move in, look at it during the summer, and
Yeah.
then see.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't make any decisions now.
If you want to go
Yeah.
ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So here you got all these poplars.
These are all poplars?
This looks like sweet gum that
Oh.
fall here on this one. Look up there. Well, I get the binoculars. Actually look pretty good for big old sweet gums. A lot of times by that size, you know, these conditions, this stuff, top might break off. I actually got one in the front yard that has a lot of the tops busted or dead. These don't look too bad.
Is there a certain age that these just stop, or that we should be concerned about, or? I mean, there's an awful lot of tree here real close to the house.
How old's the house?
81.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say these trees are probably about 80 years old. And see what they do. It really keeps.
No, I mean the home was built in 81.
I know.
Yeah, all right.
But
Now,
these trees were probably planted
They're
grew
80.
about the same time.
I see.
Oh, 81, right? Not 80 years old.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure clarification there that I
Yes.
wasn't telling you the home was the
Yes.
same age as the trees.
I got you.
That's all. Yeah.
Well, and these trees were here before the house
Well
was built,
before,
which is a
yeah.
little surprising, you know, that they left them and built right around here. But you know, I guess they wanted to leave as many trees as they could.
Sure.
But it is causing moisture to stay here with all the
Yes.
vegetation,
Yes.
which is why you get that going on.
Yep.
So the biggest thing about this one right here, see how these two
Yes.
go together like that? That's generally a weakness, is the joint like that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that physically. Yeah, pulling those two apart should go tie these two together up there a ways, maybe
Well,
30
no.
feet or something, or?
Oh, that's interesting you mentioned that, because cabling is an alternative
All right.
to try to hold things together so that they don't split apart.
Although in
That's
doing
an
that, I
option.
could see that, and you'd prevent this, but you'd also do a little bit of this, pushing out on the bottom, because you know you got a pivot point.
Yeah,
I think it would actually push this apart, but keep it together on top. You're actually bowing it.
Well, it's just the cable has a little.
This would be the fulcrum, right? And then down here it would, I guess the soil, of course, would hold it together.
Oh yeah,
This probably
but you're
goes
not-
down a ways.
You're not really pulling it together. You're just holding it in place, basically. You're not really trying to pull it too tight, so you're
All
not
right.
putting pressure.
So you would just do one spot, not a couple?
Yeah, well, it could be a couple different ones, but you know,
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of places to do it.
No.
But the thing is that all the growth on this one is over the roof.
Yes.
So if it was going to go, obviously it's going to go that direction. There's no doubt about it.
It's going right into there, yeah.
Right to the
Yeah.
house. Now, part of the things to consider with that is if it's farther away from the house, it has farther to fall. It gathers more speed. It could create more damage.
This
This
the
one
house is
doesn't
going to
have
catch
very
it.
far to go,
Right.
so it's going to sort of lean.
Make a lot of noise as it hits
side,
this and
go
take
right
out that
along.
corner, maybe
Yeah,
that glass, and yeah,
we
right.
hit that corner.
Yeah.
Sweet gums aren't as prone to just uprooting or breaking off as much as some of the poplars and the red oaks. So,
Okay.
I don't see any immediate issue, but if I was going to consider removing, I might take this whole thing out and then this smaller one over here.
Okay.
Part of the thinking too,
I would take a
maintenance.
crane to get this thing out of here, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
A long reach.
They could actually do it by
Top it.
climbing,
Mm.
rope, let everything drop. It's a lot of effort. So yeah, crane. I'll have to look from the driveway to see how.
It's quite a reach to get in here. I mean,
That
that's
would be the easiest thing is the crane.
yeah, probably about at least 100, 120 feet. Yeah.
Pain to carry all this stuff out like
Yeah.
that. But you know, I don't really see that again as an immediate threat. Something you really have to be concerned about. I mean, it's doing pretty well. I don't see a lot of weeping or anything like that in here. So I don't.
So is this actually 2 trees then? What you're saying?
Yeah.
So they're not connected at all. They're just all the way down the center.
Yep.
They just grew up together.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. I thought it was like Siamese twins or
well,
something.
you'll see trees. Well, even that dogwood.
Yeah.
You know, how it grew up and then it split.
Yes.
And you see that a lot. But no, these are 2 separate ones that actually are kind
Just
of
touching.
welded together at this point.
All right.
And there's a third one here. And that eventually,
So this one.
these 2 eventually would do the same thing.
So this one came from this, you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most likely. Yep. So, and then of course you got this one too. So you got all these. But you know, they look healthy. I don't see a lot of dead limbs or anything like that. So, you know, it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. But the biggest thing for a lot of people is the damn balls that drop everywhere and the mess that they make.
Yeah, they're all over here.
So, depending on how often you walk down here, I mean, this is a real slip hazard. You know, you step on these balls on these.
First time I came here, yes, it was wet, and yeah, up there on that deck, man, it's not easy.
Right.
Although almost all of these decks here have to be replaced. They're not in great shape at all.
So, you know, again, that's just another consideration with sweet gums is the darn mess they make and the trip hazard they
Yeah.
constitute, depending on how much you actually walk down this versus. There's another way to get in there, obviously. The other stairs.
Yeah, the
Is there a
stairs
door
that
to
we
the-
came down, there is,
The
yeah.
back door of the house, the
Yeah.
sliding door there.
Yeah, there's a couple doors down here.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
other ways to get out there.
Yeah. All right.
See, in the gutter guards is sweet gum balls and all that.
Yeah.
It's just the thing you got to consider for maintenance. Okay, and then we got nice hemlocks. It's nice
Before we
to
move on
see.
to that one, Dave, I'm sorry.
Okay.
What about roots on this and foundation? I mean, inside, it's, you know, we've been in crawl spaces and
Uh-huh.
you don't see any
Oh no.
problem with it. Is that? No, that's
No,
no
not really,
reason?
because it's far enough away from the foundation that it's not lifting. I don't think they're doing anything like that.
okay.
And sweet gums, since they grow in floodplains, they're generally going to the wettest.
So they're
most
gonna
of the
head out
roots-
that way?
Most of the roots just going that way, and of course going underneath. Hey, is this dirt underneath this? I guess?
Yeah. It's just got these 4x6 posts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the root is going underneath there then, and it's spreading out where it needs to go.
Okay. Yeah, both of these structures lean kind of this way. So, all right. Is that almost a mistake being there?
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, why is that there?
Yeah, they actually tied it.
Yeah. Probably so it wouldn't beat against the house, I guess.
I guess it's interesting. It's a nice American holly, which is a nice native tree, but it's not in a good place. You know, unless you feel like it's really doing you some good, I don't know that I'd want to keep that there. It's keeping some moisture. It's
Yeah, I
rubbing
see that
against the
bottom of
paint.
that soffit
Yeah,
there
that's
too.
the
Yeah.
bottom of it up
Yeah.
there.
Something's been eaten up there too. Looks
So
like.
yeah, that's
All right.
one of the things you might want to thin out some of these trees.
That's number
because they are
4,
keeping
all right.
moisture here. You
Yeah.
want to get better airflow. To help
This sure looks nice though. I mean,
yeah.
the way that this is all,
Yeah.
when
I
you
know.
view it from down there, it really looked like it was in a vase almost,
Yeah.
didn't it? You know,
Oh,
just
yeah.
a,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a pretty tree right there. It sure is.
Oh, and what kind of tree is that?
Well, let's see. like the flowering tulip poplar. I know you got one in the front. Got those big buds on it, but I don't see the same. Looks like it's nice and healthy. I probably would take this one limb off that's hanging out over your roof.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of weight out there.
Well, this one here, it's
Yeah.
just dropping stuff on your roof, and it's not really helping you. Plus, you know, of course, squirrels and everything else climb up there, jump on you.
Gives them a ladder. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Also looks like somebody started something like that, but there's a lot of it's like distressed
that is
on there,
pretty
huh?
interesting there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the shape of that.
So that's normal for that to curve over that much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody.
Like somebody started like with a little hatchet or something and then just gave up, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's like, I can't do this.
Like a chisel or something. Right?
Yeah, a very small hatchet at that. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, since you got this holly right here, you probably would just, I'd probably just get rid of that one. It's not really give me any benefit in all it's doing.
It doesn't look like it's just blocking that window. Yeah, is all it's
just
doing.
keeping moisture against the house, and again, a pathway for
Yep.
squirrels and everything else.
Yeah, because this needs to be redone here. These are kind of rotted. We'll live with it, you know, probably for a year first, but
Sure.
these steps are dangerous. They need handhold, or maybe it needs to be terraced, or something different needs to be done here.
I like the flow of the land, the way they.
Yeah, they really used the land and tiered it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see inside that pool too, but
Oh yeah.
couldn't find a tool. Did the home inspection here last night. Met the guy at 4. We didn't leave until 9. Yeah.
Nasty day to be out.
Tired. Oh man, it was. Yeah. Yes, very nasty.
I appreciated the fact that you.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't come. That was crazy. You couldn't see hardly anything here without any light. It's half foggy, you know.
Gas lamp, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I saw that. You noticed the mantle. Yeah, good catch.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like the way the pool kind of curls around there a little bit too. That's neat.
Yeah, I don't like the way they did the plumbing. The pool house, the pump and everything is down low on the floor there, so that's, you know, a wet, you know, suction. It doesn't have much lift, but they brought all the piping up, went in, and then back down to the pump instead of just going through the, you know,
Yeah.
through the wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would change that.
Yeah. Right.
Well, it's, you know, for freeze avoidance.
Right.
Plus, if it, you know, once you get a little bit of air in there, it's gonna just stay at that high spot.
I think everything else we could see from the front, I believe.
We can probably walk back. I think we could walk around this way.
All right. Can't we? Yeah.
I don't know.
We just stairs, so we'll do that, and then we'll come back to these trees.
Yeah, we might have to. I think we could walk through the garage. I think that'll be all right with her.
Yeah. See these down. They're everywhere.
Yeah. Is there a nut inside of them?
Yes. Well, it is the seed pod.
But it's not edible.
No.
Okay.
Well, I've never heard anybody eat them, but
All right.
good question. I don't even know if the squirrels like those.
I think if the squirrels like these, you'd see a family of them out here, huh?
No kidding. Alright, anything else? Let's see, we got that little tree there. Pine tree over there looks fine.
That large pine there, you mean? In that yard?
On the
Okay.
corner, right. More dogwoods right here. I wanna. That one kind of looks like it's dying back there. Yeah, see, this is all along the shower and all this stuff. It's receding everywhere. This one right here in front of us,
Yeah.
and the clump behind there you were looking at, those are two of the same thing. And it looks like it could be a princess tree. It's got those, it's definitely from Asia. It's got those kind of lantern type pods at the top, seed pods. I'm gonna go look that up in a little bit too. So I think that's what it probably is. And you know, it's not a native tree, but they look okay. This one looks like it's got a little dieback in it. The one closest to us.
Yeah, I see that.
So you might want to keep an eye on that, see how it leaves out this summer. And I'll get back to you on those two. I mean, I don't see it reseeding all over the place or anything. I just see those two. The one in the back seems to look pretty healthy as far as budding up and everything. It's got lots of buds. This one here looks like it's dying back.
Oh, you see buds on them already. Oh yeah, you can see tiny little ones. Yeah, starting. Okay.
Again, that's why I got the binoculars. 'Cause, you know, a lot of stuff I can't see otherwise.
Sure.
Yeah, it's nice to see the hemlock doing pretty well here. Again, you might want to get somebody to cut back some of these limbs sitting right on your roof just to put it back a little bit.
Sure.
But
Okay.
the hemlock, I don't know if you've heard this before, but we have another invasive insect called the woolly adelgid that's come from Asia that's attacking, it's killing all the hemlocks in North Georgia.
Well, no, I have not heard that.
And yeah, it's a real scourge. So it's nice to see that these look pretty good. Because what the adelgids do is they suck the sap out of the limbs and then the needles start dying back. And eventually it kills the whole tree.
So it starts out on the end?
Yeah.
Okay. What should we look for?
Well, you'll start seeing the needles turn sort of grayish
All right.
on the tips, and then sometimes you can see these little fuzzy white insect larvae on the tree. It's not always that easy to find, but you know, I don't see any evidence of any of that with these. There's a couple out front too that look pretty good. But yeah, just the limbs up against the roof. It's just a good practice to
Yep.
put this back a little bit.
What about this little guy? This guy looks like half dead. Oh, that's a dogwood? All right.
Well, again, the lower limbs, you got that one
Yeah.
piece on the left, of course, is
Yep.
dead.
Yeah.
And a couple of lower limbs, but I can see lots of buds up in the top, so that's going to be beautiful
Okay.
this spring.
All right.
Downy wood.
The one I just left?
Lucky that sapsucker was hitting those trees down there. Yeah, another dogwood in their yard right there. Looking pretty good. So yeah, it's going to be real pretty here in the spring. Because you got this flowering poplar, tulip poplar in front. It's going to be gorgeous. Yeah, this is kind of neat with all these little terraces.
Yeah, we like it. We really like it.
You can
Yeah.
work with.
Yes.
Yeah.
This stuff here seems a little close.
There's another American holly,
American what?
holly,
Holly.
which is a native holly.
Okay.
And not this one. This is a separate one. That's the one out front. This is more of that. Let's see. Actually, I think it might be mixed a little bit. But see, this leaf is smooth on the edges,
Yes.
and this leaf is toothed.
Yes,
on the
I see
edges.
that.
It's
That
got
looks
the
like
red
it would
berries.
hurt. Yeah.
So that's the American holly.
All right.
And there's other hollies that are non-native. You see those all over the place. Anyway, that's actually a pretty nice specimen right there. But it is competing with this thing here. That's really kind of gotten out of hand. Yeah, we'll talk more about that when we get up front there. We got a nice little Japanese maple here. Only problem with that is it's not getting much light. I guess it might get some afternoon. Let's see if that's north. Maybe
Yeah, that's almost south the way it's looking now. Yeah. But in the summer,
this is some-
yeah, this isn't going to get any light
higher,
until
you
maybe
might
a little in the afternoon, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you could trim back some of these lower limbs on this shrubby thing here, and then that would give it more light. Really, those are beautiful trees.
They're red leaves, aren't they? A little small.
Well, yeah, they come out in the spring sort of reddish, and then it depends on what variety it is. Usually they'll turn green, and then they'll turn color again in the fall.
Okay.
So they start off with that sort of purplish leaf, or some of them stay purple all year. It just depends on the.
Had some up in New Jersey that way. Yeah, they're kind of like a burgundy or maroon almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they can be really beautiful trees.
Yeah.
You got a real nice specimen out front. It's got more shape to it.
I think we could go through the garage here and there's another door to get out of the garage. Yeah. It's interesting how the garage and the home don't touch here. Did you notice that? Yeah.
Interesting how
Yeah.
the way these roots
Yeah.
kind of overhang a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
It's almost like they added this on later. I bet they did. 'Cause
I don't
that
know.
doesn't look like original the way they tied that together like that.
You don't think? I don't know.
It
It shows
could
it.
be, but-
It shows it on the survey
Oh,
for the
yeah?
date.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was designed that way, but
Kind of odd.
who knows? I could be off.
This is a neat little evergreen right here. Look at the shape on that.
Yeah.
That's old. Probably how old is the house right there. It's really nice.
Yeah. It's gonna be difficult to rebuild this around it.
You gonna do that?
Well, looks like something needs
Oh, yeah.
needs to be done here.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know.
this is all
It looks like they replaced the top not long ago, but
right. Sure.
the bottom needs it.
So this is the
More.
non-native holly here. This is the Asian holly that we see all over the place.
Yes. Yes.
They're pretty common. Same with that one right there on the corner. Let's finish over here and then we'll come back.
All right.
Okay, so this here on the corner, this is your flowering tulip poplar, and I see up top there's one that's almost opened up. It's going to have that pinkish.
Oh yeah, I see the
Oh,
little
you see it?
fuzzies. Do these little fuzzy
Well,
things
let's
here?
see. Come back here and you can see it. Okay, on this side, that top branch is coming
Yes.
out.
Oh yeah, I
That
see it
side
now.
is
I see it.
starting to
I
open
see
up
one.
already.
Yep. Yep.
That's going to be beautiful. It's got those buds all over. It's going to have so that's a tulip poplar.
So that's healthy when it has that
Different than
many
the yellow
buds.
poplar, it's just a different type, but it's going to be beautiful when it all flowers out. Yeah, real nice. And then you got the hemlocks behind it. And those two hemlocks look fine. Our eastern hemlock is native to the mountains, especially.
That's what Susan was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you find them in the coves because they generally like the moist soil. But yeah, got a little competition going on. I'd be tempted in a way to get that whole thing out of here. You know, it's messy. It's competing with these and your American holly, and it's hanging over the roof and everything like that, keeping moisture in. You know, at the very least, probably cut some of it out.
Yeah. Well, what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, huh?
You got your maple right there, so you cut some of this out, you get more sun, and maple will do better.
So you think maybe letting a couple of here, these, maybe 2 of these, get rid of the surrounding 3 or 4?
That's a good thing. You can start by taking some of it out and then see what you think. And if you don't, if you get going with that chainsaw, just keep going. But yeah, that's just.
Now I know how the cable comes in the house. I was wondering where it came from.
Okay.
If that's it. Huh. This stuff looks like it needs a lot of work of clearing some branches out of here that are kind of half dead or
Oh yeah.
dead.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is pruning, just cleaning up.
How about the stuff like that comes down to the ground here? Should we get rid of this?
Well, that's what these
Or is
do.
that-
I mean, it's
Or that's what they do?
not hurt. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you go to the mountains, the eastern hemlock is always right close to the ground. It's interesting because you know how we talked about trees, lower limbs don't get sun and they drop. It's
Yeah, yeah.
But the
This
hemlocks for
doesn't
some
need much,
reason-
huh?
No. I mean, they grow in the coves in the dark anyway, so they do well in low light. So, but yeah, I mean,
It's a good buffer.
If
Yeah.
you just wanted to let it dry out a little bit more in here, yeah, it wouldn't hurt the tree to cut these off. So you could certainly do that. Yeah, I'd like to see that in the spring. It's gonna be beautiful.
Well, I'll take a picture and send it to you. Or a video. All right. What about what's inside, like where it looks like a groove and it looks like it's hollow? There's something like weeping out of there? Or?
Oh, that little.
Yeah, like this one,
Well,
there and there.
It's possible that, well, up there they definitely cut a limb off.
All right.
It's probably hanging out over the driveway.
Yeah.
And that could be too. It's quite the same though. But it could have been years ago. A piece broke off.
It looks like
or-
it twisted or something, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe they just didn't do a very good job.
Don't
when they
fix
cut it.
what's not broken. In
But
other
it's
words,
not-
it's okay to have a hole in it, is what I'm
Oh, yeah.
asking. All right.
Well, you know, they do. There's not much you can do about it because they do allow insects and things to get into the
Yeah.
stem like that. But these are not huge trees anyway, and I think for the length of time you'll be here, you need to keep an eye on it, see if anything's dying back. But I wouldn't bother with it.
Okay.
Not much you can do about it. But it is going to be pretty every year when it blooms. A little bird nest up there in the corner.
Yeah. That adds a lot.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything you need to do with that. And here's this is a beautiful Japanese bear. Spectacular. And all these curving branches and everything.
Yes.
The form of that is just spectacular. It's got a little leaf. And that might stay purple. It's beautiful.
So to lose this come spring?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new growth will force the
Oh, it comes out in the same spot. Or kind of, sort of. Oh, I see where the buds are now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Take that off. So, you know, that's looking real good. And then you got the dogwood here, same situation with a couple of dead limbs on it. And, you know, simple pole saw, cut some of those off, you're good to go because the rest of it's all alive and flowering. And you can see how it likes the sun.
Yes.
So it's all in
It's
the
going
sun.
right to it, yeah.
Standard practice for trees to do that. Okay. I guess we'll go down here.
Hang on, I'll be right there. I'm gonna grab a battery for this. I think it's
Okay.
about to go. All right, thanks for that.
The batteries are, what do you say, about half hour?
Well, that was 50 minutes. I was surprised. Yeah, usually I only get about 45. Yeah, it was. I knew it was about time.
Now is that? It looks like it's fairly waterproof, right?
Well, they make
a new one or whatever.
It actually is. It sits inside of this enclosure.
Oh yeah.
The camera itself is just a little. That's all battery in there.
Okay.
Got a 64 gig card. Just continue. But they do make this. You'd be surprised. I'll share the video on YouTube with you when we're done. If it's okay to put you on there. I could make it private though. If it.
Well, let's start with that.
Yeah. I mean, some people are funny that way. I meant just to share, because it's just a huge file size. But they do make a solid back for this that, it's good for, I don't know, 100 feet, roughly. It's a pretty interesting little camera. Pretty rugged, too. But anyway, for me, it's, for something like this, it's perfect. You get to see, you get to hear the commentary.
Yes.
So we can.
Especially in this yard, we're talking about.
There's so many things we just can't make a map and make a drawing. It would take an hour to make a drawing at least. Yeah.
I like that idea. I might get one of those.
Handy. Very handy.
This tree right on the corner, the big one.
Yes.
Is a beautiful white oak.
White oak. All right.
Yeah, you can see why they call it that. It's got the lighter
yes.
bark.
That would be a good color for this house, actually. Yeah.
So it looks great. It's got lots of healthy crown, pretty well balanced on all sides. Obviously
it's crowded out a little bit on the right side from this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. You got a couple of lower dead limbs, nothing unusual. They're gonna just drop. Nothing
Yeah.
really to do about that. So it looks fine. It looks great. A nice shade tree. It's beautiful. Then next to it, looks like. Let's see if I can see any leaf on there. Looks a little better. Smaller oak next to it, looks like red oak. Nice leaf. So, no problems there. Not the prettiest tree in the world, but it's growing amid other ones, so it's trying to fit in wherever it can.
Yeah.
And so it's looking good. And then you got this oak right in front of us, right here.
What are those splotches? I think paint? Or is that just...
It's lichen.
Oh, okay.
Because it's moist here, the lichens just growing on the bark. So
okay.
No problem with that.
Same thing on that tree? That's lichen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like a band like that? Interesting. Okay.
Lichens grow on the trunks. Very common. Especially with a smoother bark like that.
Easier to...
But even that one, you can see the green.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Those are all lichens growing on the trunk. Okay, so that's a little poplar, the one behind there.
All right.
And let me see. Looks like the bark. Looks like each.
Glad to hear there's a lot of birds here.
Oh yeah, I bet there is a lot of birds. It's funny, that tree has a bunch of different leaves, but I think part of it is leaves that have fallen off of other trees and just kind of hung up on it there.
Yeah.
It actually looks like a hickory leaf from what I can see, actually attached to the tree. So yeah, I think that's a small hickory there.
Those look like they have green on them already, or is that something else?
That's mistletoe.
Oh, that's mistletoe.
That's a separate plant. It's,
How to get up there, birds?
it's got spores.
Okay, so just
and,
airborne.
Yeah, they find either little cracks in trees or things. I mean, birds' feet can sometimes spread it, and it does have berries. You know, mistletoe, of course. You know.
Yeah.
Well, people kiss on
Right.
it, so it's got little berries. But it also sends out spores that attach to the trees, so it's not a good thing. It's not very much of it. It's a parasite.
Oh,
So it's
it's
taken
living
away from
off
the
of the tree.
It doesn't
It's
give
not
anything to the
symbiotic.
tree.
All right.
No, it just kind of takes
All right.
away from the tree. But you know, a lot of times you'll see a little bit of it here and there. And those are silver maples over there. Those two along that back side are both silver maples. And I looked at it when I first got here, and yes, they do have the mistletoe, which again is not the best sign, but other than trying to get somebody to come out and cut out the limbs with the mistletoe, which can be expensive.
Yeah, that's up there a ways.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would be a tough thing to do.
You
so-
couldn't climb out there. That thing wouldn't support you, would it?
No.
No.
It would be very difficult to get that done. I mean, what they would do is they'd climb up and they use a pole saw or something to reach out.
Reach from there? Okay.
It's not really worth fooling with it for what it would cost you.
I mean, it's not near the neighbors or anybody else's. If
No.
that part dies, it's going to fall right there in the yard, right?
And silver maples do that anyway. I've got a couple in my yard, and they're always limbs dying back and they drop and everything else. So that's what that limb down there is. But I don't see a whole lot of dieback in them, so they're looking fine. They're looking fairly healthy. So I don't see any reason to do anything with that.
Okay.
Okay, then you got this tree right here. This is a poplar. Let's see here. This is the frick in the wintertime. Sometimes let's see, it's got that lower dead limb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a poplar, yellow poplar. And it looks fine. Pretty, again, balanced crown in all directions. Nice straight trunk. Don't see any issues with that one. And then you got this here. That was the one I was looking at that looks like it's got some dieback to it. You know, you can see more mistletoe sticking out of a lot of the limbs there.
Yes. All over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All over it. Yeah. A
So,
little here. Yeah, just about pretty much every joint, every limb.
yeah. So I would suspect that being on the slope where it is,
Yeah.
it probably, because of the drought, maybe it just dried out enough. A lot of the root system died back. So it's not a real healthy tree, and so the mistletoe has come in to start attacking it.
So this is number 5, but this one here I would not tackle by myself. The first 4, yes, they're just piecemeal, and they were maybe up to what, 4-inch or 6-inch maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a little bit more. That's about 14, 16
Well, yeah, 'cause
inches.
If you cut this down at the bottom, I mean, 90% chance it's going to go that direction.
Right.
It's going to take out your dogwood. Over
Oh no,
the
it would
corner.
destroy a good deal of the yard. I wouldn't do that.
So,
Yeah. No, this has to be taken down in pieces. I could see that.
so you know, it's again depending on budget and what
Right.
else you want to do, what your priorities are. It's going to die a little bit at a time and just drop limbs straight down, and you know, so you can save money and not pay somebody to take it out, because that would probably be, I don't know, $800 to $1,000.
I was just gonna say that looks like $1,000 or
Take
more
that
worth of
out.
work. Get rid of that. All right.
So
And again, this was a
it's a silver maple.
silver maple.
These three, that one, and this one.
All right.
Silver maples.
It's interesting how they're
part of the
just
thing
the only
about-
ones with the mistletoe, huh? You must favor those, maybe, or
I don't remember if there was some other.
I wasn't looking for it that hard down there.
Something
All right.
else back there, but yeah, it seems to really like these three. I don't have too much of it in my yard. My water oak in the back has some. The neighbor's yard really has a lot of mistletoe, but my silver maples don't really have any. But they definitely seem to like these. Okay, so
What's left?
we got this. This is another one. Look, see all the dead limbs on that? That's
Yes.
a sweet gum. Got the balls again. I don't know if I've ever seen these kind of.
You know, look, I thought they were teak or something, or else they should have been rotted, right? If they weren't.
Yeah, that makes sense. They would be.
Yeah. I've never seen wood mats like this either.
No, I thought maybe they were originally fencing that they just cut to use for this.
Yep.
Oh, these kind of looks like
Looks
they were
like they're
made-
designed that
Oh,
way,
it
huh?
does look like that. Yeah, sure. How about that?
Yeah, they're teak, all right. Yeah. Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
So yeah, this sweet gum here, see how the lots of dead limbs up the top?
Yeah. Yeah, quite a bit.
Probably the drought again, I think would be the reason for that. I don't see any other thing. I don't see a lot of insect damage. or
Also, what
anything.
kind of? I mean, this is fairly steep here, and what water? I mean, the road. There's the road. There's this surface, but all of this is tunneled back down and away, right?
Yeah.
So this really doesn't get an actual lot of water, other than what falls just in that little area,
Right,
huh?
yeah, and a lot of it's just running off.
Yeah, it's
doesn't have that
because
much
it's
chance
slope.
to
It's steep slope. Yeah,
sit now.
yeah.
At the same time, any water that's coming off the ridge is sinking into the ground. Groundwater is kind of moving down.
Downwards. Yeah.
So there is some groundwater flow underneath, but you know, again, in drought, it's going lower and lower.
Sure.
So this whole slope probably dried out quite a bit in the drought, but
Especially being on the south side here, this gets a lot of sun right here.
but your
Yeah.
other trees seem to be doing fairly well. So for whatever reason, obviously the top of that is not doing that well. So again, it's not likely that the whole tree is going to fall over and damage the house.
But a lot of limbs
But
need to
you're
be
gonna have
taken out of there.
continuous dead limbs dropping there. So, you know, you might want to consider just taking the thing out of it.
All right, that's number 6.
It's not going to get any healthier. And I think that's the only sweet gum in the front yard, so that would relieve all the balls you got falling down there. Cedar waxwing. Oh yeah,
Right there.
Bunch of
Those two.
yeah. They're eating the fruit off those fruit trees.
Oh, I see them. Yeah, several.
Yeah. Yeah, they like that. They spend the winter here and then head back north in the spring. You see flocks, sometimes of 100 or more of those birds. And they get on a tree like that and they just eat all those berries.
You
Yeah,
see
they
it.
like
They're just
that.
having themselves a nice little lunch. Yeah,
It's a pretty bird.
they are. Was that orange beak?
You
Red
wanna
beak.
see?
Yeah. Have a look. Thanks.
Yeah, they got the yellowish at the base of the tail.
Yeah.
And they got on their wing, they got little red dots along the wing tips, and that's why they call it waxwing, because it reminded the English in the old days of the wax they would put on the letters and stamp. Little red drops of wax.
Almost looks like a woodpecker head, though. Where the eyes go back.
Sure. It's
Yeah.
a little
It is a
crest.
cool looking bird, yeah. Actually, it looks like a bird with attitude. He's got, I mean, this one guy facing us right here,
Yeah.
right there, yeah. Take a look at him, yeah. Looks like he has just sitting there with a bunch of attitude.
Yeah. They're a very regal bird. And that black band
Yeah,
in the eye there and everything. Yeah, I'll tell you. Like I said, a whole flock of those all together with the yellow on the tail and everything. It's just a beautiful sight.
they don't make much noise. Not much talkers, huh?
Well, these have been quiet, but they actually do make a kind of a high-pitched squeaking sound when you have a bunch of them together a lot of times. Looks
Huh.
like people like to cut back these crepe myrtles.
Yeah, Susan mentioned that whenever we drive around and see them.
And there's no reason to because there's nothing over the top. But
Why? Yeah, why? I don't understand the.
it's just
Is it human nature or?
it's a mental thing that people have gotten in their minds that you have to cut them back to make them flower. You don't
Oh.
have to do that. Now, you're going to have more little stems, so you might have more flowers. So I guess if that's what you're aiming for, but it does. Anytime you top a bunch of trees like that, it does stress it, and that doesn't look attractive to me when you got.
No, it's fat,
Beautiful.
then all of a sudden it gets real skinny. Yeah.
And then all you got these
Yeah.
water shoots sticking
Right.
out everywhere.
No. They're gonna stay this way, other than I could see
Like
one of
that
those
one
needing to
there.
get whacked
Like
off.
that one
maybe.
there, beautiful trunk, nice shape,
Yeah.
beautiful bark, and you could have that all the way up, and then all you got is these little skinny sprouts sticking out of it.
So,
Pet peeve of mine. But
if we just let that go right now, those would probably have to be thinned out, I would think.
well,
Huh?
all you can do at this point is if you really got industrious and you have a lot of time on your hands, pick one or two of these main shoots,
Let
coming
it
out
go?
here, and cut all this other little stuff off,
All right.
and then that would start to.
Keep it going in that direction.
Yeah.
What's this stuff here? This is this is lichen.
Well, the bark, yeah, there's lichen, but these do peel the bark off.
All right.
That the bark does peel, but I love, and especially some of these you get real reddish. You've seen some of these crepe myrtles.
This
the
looks
reddish
nice.
bark.
Yeah.
It's real attractive, but I'm going to do that to it.
Huh.
No, but it seems to be standard for a lot of people, landscapers, you know, especially the Mexicans. They do great work, but they have in their mind you have to cut the tops off these things. You don't. You just don't.
What do we got here?
These here are taller.
Oh.
All right, then you got the magnolia, and that looks fine. So the magnolia. Ready? Top of that. And then you got these two, which may be crab apple. It is a fruit tree. These both, that one and this one, really big for general crab apple. But that's what it looks like. The fruit is that those birds were eating off the branches.
Ah,
there.
yes. Okay.
You can see them even down low here. So I think that's what those are.
Now that's all green, huh? Or is that mistletoe in there?
That's mistletoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got a lot of mistletoe. So I was
What bird is
noticing.
this right here? Who's this guy?
What's that?
This bird right here.
Mockingbird.
That's a mockingbird. Okay. That's the one that makes fun of all the other birds.
Yeah.
All right.
It sits there and calls. It's very aggressive too. I've actually had them attack people.
I mean, we're pretty close to that guy. He doesn't care, huh?
No, it's not
Yeah.
really breeding season yet. He doesn't. The females protecting their nest. Those are the ones that'll dive bomb you. I mean, they usually won't hit you, but they'll get real close.
Yeah.
You get close to their nest. So these do have a lot of mistletoe. They do have a fair number of dead limbs because they've never been pruned or anything. But they're probably going to flower in the spring and look nice.
Looks like some stuff should come down out of here because that's just
Yeah,
killing us,
again,
whatever it
it's
is.
a
Yeah.
sort of a maintenance thing with these. It looks like you got to continue to have dead limbs falling and that sort
Yeah.
of thing. You can see a lot of kind of dead stuff up in there. You know, if you wanted to again get really ambitious, have somebody prune it all out. I don't see any reason to take them down. because they do obviously provide food for birds, so you get that benefit, if you consider that a benefit.
Sure.
They're not really providing you any extra shade because you got plenty of trees to give you shade. So you don't necessarily have to do anything with those.
Found the water meter. All right.
And then you got a nice American holly here. Right here, that's a beautiful American holly there. Nice native tree. And it's being crowded by this. I always forget the name of this darn thing. It's everywhere. It's the evergreen, the waxy leaf.
Ubiquitous.
And you got them all around the backyard there. So you might consider thinning out some of this stuff here, but it's not really necessary.
Yeah, this looks like a property edge here to me, somewheres.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Right around here. Yep.
Yeah, in fact, these two join together
Yeah.
and run straight down
Yeah.
there, and this is almost right on the property line, the sewer, and there's an easement 30 foot. In fact, that's part of what we got to chase down. The easement width of it actually clips a corner of the pool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because it comes out right behind your pool.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So we were wondering, well, my concern is, what about that? And we'll talk to an attorney Monday, but realtor suggested, hey, call in the city. The pool went in. I'm sure a permit went in for it. So if somebody allowed a permit, and then again, is somebody, did somebody actually, say, hey, don't look or whatever,
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows, right?
But the
that's
odds
real
of this being needing maintenance in terms of being dug up are kind of
pretty slim, but
pretty
it's still
slim.
good for you to know,
There's a sanitary sewer here too. This is just a storm drain.
Yeah, right.
These two, but there's also a sewer easement along.
Okay, so this is on sewer. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably in the same trough or trench where they put it. Yeah, but
It's a nice neighborhood. It's nice. Nice, good sized
there's
lots.
the sewer here. Yeah, so that's probably down here. Somewheres they got a T off of here running down there. Yeah. Huh.
There's your water line. The blue mark is
Yep. Yeah. It's just
nice wide streets, plenty of room.
quiet.
Yeah,
One way in and out. That's what I like.
nice. And you got the Chattahoochee Recreation Area.
Yes,
close.
I'm gonna go check that out. Actually, right after here, I'm gonna go drive over there and see
Yeah, I
it.
definitely would say this is a better choice than that other house we looked at.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! I really like that house, but you know what? Inside, that home really didn't have a lot. This has it's got 4 levels in it, but
Wow.
it's got a lot. 4. Yeah,
kidding.
there's 4 levels in there. Yeah. It
1, 2, 3,
well, you can't really see the bottom. When you walk in the top here, there's a kind of kitchen area to the left.
Okay.
All that wing to the right is a master bedroom. Then it goes down a half a flight. You can't see it with a vaulted ceiling as a large living room on that far side.
Sweet.
Then you go down another half a flight. There's 2 bedrooms on this side and a bedroom on that side. And then you go down another half a flight and you got what I'll make like a media room and a closet, and then another half a flight, and there's a basement with that's on the bottom there with a pool table and some other crap in there.
Nice.
So it's I really like it. We really do.
Yeah, it's an interesting lot.
It is. It's got a lot of trees though. Yeah. Now I'm looking at this thing, man. That thing's really leaning, huh?
Which?
What is that? About a 30 degree? What is that?
Oh yeah.
Was that
What did I
a
say
silver?
it was?
No.
I
I
think they said that was an oak there.
Was that a yellow oak? No, that was this guy.
I think that was a red oak.
All right.
I think I can see some leaf with points on it, so it looks like a red oak. Yeah. Yeah, because the white oak was the one next to the house.
Yes,
and the red
got
oak.
it. All right.
So
Yep.
the red oak's grown in that form to reach as much light as it can get.
All right.
And the red oaks are the ones that most prone to uprooting out of the ground and tipping over when they get real big. But you got a lot
A
of
ways to
years
go?
before you got to worry about that.
All right.
Yeah,
We won't
there's the
worry
sound.
about that guy.
See that? Hear that? Look at that.
Wow, look at him. Yeah,
Yeah, those are the.
real high, almost like a
Yeah.
bat. Yeah, not quite.
Right.
Yeah,
That's their sound. That was a good sized flock there.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
like
they like these fruit.
20 or so. Yeah. All right, I think we covered them all here, huh?
I think so.
What's that little guy right up front there?
On the other side of the driveway?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can make it.
Okay.
That's another.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good place for it. It's got plenty of room to spread out, plenty of sun. Yeah. I don't know when that was planted, but it's nice. That's a little different. The one in that one there, it's got the more feathery leaf,
Yes.
and this one's got more of a standard
Okay.
smaller maple type leaf there. But yeah, it looks nice and healthy. Now, one thing, if you really get into trees like this, people do like to prune out some of the. Now those are dead anyway. But sometimes you prune out some of the limbs.
Stuff in the
If
middle.
they start
Yeah.
crossing over each other and things like that. But that's just a personal thing. People like to really get into managing the growth
Sure,
of these
sure.
Japanese maples. But now, that one
Like
there
these
has
two
such-
here are hurting each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right now.
yeah, like
Yeah,
that. That one would
yes.
probably be one.
Yeah.
You kind of snip off some of those if they grow together. I like the shape of that one. Yeah, that's
It is cool.
grow
It's a
too.
cool looking tree.
Very nice. Yeah, I guess that sweet gum would probably be the most expensive, I believe, from everything we talked about. The removal there, that would probably be $1,500 or more there.
And the other guy to the right,
Yeah, that's just
let it go.
800 or 1,000, or just forget about it. It's not gonna hurt anything. And I mean, this was really not gonna hurt anything either. It's just getting ugly and the damn balls everywhere. So,
Yes.
but no, I didn't see anything that was an immediate hazard. I mean, there's obviously some things you can do for spacing and less maintenance just because of the leaf drop, things like that. The sweet gum's on the corner with that clump.
Yeah.
Some ones growing together. If you think you want to maybe do something about that, either cabling or just remove part of that, I'll come back with another guy from Butte that does the removals for me and cabling and things like that, and we could give you an estimate for that sort of thing if you decide to, maybe do some of that. But again, I don't see anything immediate that's really an issue you got to be concerned about.
Great.
Yeah, it's nice.
All right. Then, as far as I guess soil control or erosion, I mean, it's pretty steep here, but just the way it is seems. I mean, I didn't see any like grooves or anything where
No, I didn't. That's
water's like
interesting.
cutting into it, but
No, because you got
it's
for
terraced.
one thing, the tree cover does help slow down stormwater. The roots themselves are helping hold the soil in place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a big thing.
Okay.
A lot of people don't get. The trees are incredible about doing that. They really help hold the soil together. And of course, the leaf litter is helping slow things down. So no, I didn't see any real serious erosion problems at all
Good.
through here. And again, I think part of that is because the storm drain takes that runoff instead of it running into your yard.
Sure.
Down, it's going under.
Right.
So, yeah, from that perspective, it looks pretty good. And the ivy does help do that. But there are other ground covers that you can get. Virginia creeper doesn't cover quite as densely, but that's another ground cover. And there's other things. Even this monkey grass or whatever you want to call it is helping hold the soil and
Sure.
slowing down erosion too. And it doesn't spread as fast as the English ivy does. Okay.
All right. I see that there's some type of water system here.
Yeah.
I just-
yeah.
Can't imagine once we put water pressure on there and see what happens. It's hard to imagine none of that stuff freezing, you know?
Yes, unless they have some kind of
Blow it out with air.
place where, yeah,
Yeah.
you can drain it for winterizing.
Yeah. All right, so do you send us something?
Yeah, I'll
or
send you
all right,
invoice.
and Susan or I'll drop off a check, or
Mail it, whatever you want
Yeah.
to do.
did you use PayPal? I think I
No.
asked you that before. Never mind.
No,
All
I
right.
haven't gotten to that point.
All right.
Turkey vulture. Yes, this place feels right. It's nice.
Yeah, well, actually, I looked at it first without Susan. I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago. I forget now. And yeah, walked in. It just felt, even though she's a smoker, you know, it smells
Smells
terrible
so
in there.
bad.
Oh yeah, it has to be professionally cleansed.
Oh, yeah.
The walls need to be washed. You know, I mean the whole 9 yards. But
Sure.
yeah, but still, it felt just, you know, it felt right. Feels real comfortable here. Yeah, it has a nice feeling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful day it's turning out to be.
It sure
Great to
is.
See this.
This is the first time I've seen this place in the sun. Yeah.
Wow.
So I like it better, a lot
Yeah,
better.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm from up north, and I don't mind the cold and everything else, but yesterday was just brutal.
Oh, that was numb bone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bone chilling. It was crazy. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out, Dave.
Oh, sure.
Especially here in the sun,
Yeah.
where you can see what's going on. I haven't figured out what's going on the road here yet. It looks like they're having fun with tar or something.
Yeah, that's kind of odd, huh?
It is. Yeah. I've seen people like with hot tar, you know, fill in the cracks and stuff, but it looks like here they just,
Well, if that was the intent.
if they just gave somebody the thing and he just stood around here and just made,
Some teenager for $5 an hour or something.
walked up and down the road, right? That's what it looks like. Yeah.
It's very strange.
I guess that would hold it together though and keep it from buckling up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Play golf too? I saw the
You
golf
know,
course.
I used to when I lived in Florida. Kind of got into it, not a lot, but actually when I was working, a guy that I worked with and would go and knock the ball around, and it's pretty interesting. So, yeah, I look forward to just some evening or whatever, because there's a fairway, a hole over there. There's one, you know,
Yeah, I saw the
kind
courses
of
I was
around here.
driving
Yeah,
through
yeah.
here,
So
Yeah, it looks like a pretty place to play golf.
just go.
To me, that's it. It's not so much that I care about what I score. Sometimes I don't even keep score. It's just I enjoy being outside, and I might hit
Yeah,
the
the first
ball.
time I. Should have turned off.